Welcome to the second edition of off-road.cc's Taking Things Out of Boxes, and this time we've got a treat for the smaller person in your life. We've got one of Islabikes' rather shiny new Pro Series bikes. Basically, if regular Islabikes weren't quite spendy and fancy enough for you, they've created this new series of much lighter weight bikes. The one we've got here is the Beinn 20, I think that's how you say it. It's Gaelic for mountain in well, that's in Scotland, obviously, and it is very shiny indeed. So, as you can tell from that fact, I'm lifting up with one arm. It is very light. It's got 20-inch wheels, and it's designed for humans about 5 years and up. As you can tell from the wheel here, it's got disc brakes, and not just any disc brakes, it's got proper hydraulic discs. They're actually Avid DB5 hydraulic discs, just with like super dinky 140mm rotors. But what they have done is they've modified the levers so that you can have the reach really close in. That means if you've got the small hands of a child or Donald Trump, then you'll still be able to reach the levers and operate them properly and get like maximum braking power out of it. For similar reasons, they've also opted for a grip shift rather than a thumb shifter or a trigger shifter, because they reckon it's much easier for sort of small hands to get and operate. I should point out with the gearing as well, it's actually a one-by setup. They've got their own custom cranks, which are, I think, 114mm long crank arm. And obviously a proper narrow wide ring there to keep the chain on. And a really cool thing that they've done is actually a 9-speed block with a proper clutch equipped SRAM mech, so it's not going to drop the chain in a hurry. But what they've actually done is they've modified a 10-speed cassette down to 9-speed, which gives them a slightly narrower range, which means they can still get the desired chainstay length, can still fit in a proper rear hub, and still have a usable chain line. So it's really quite cool that they've managed to custom do all these bits and bobs. Elsewhere, the frame is smooth welded hydroformed aluminium, and like I said, it is very light. Other really cool things they've done is they've got proper butted bars up front. You've even got carbon fibre stem spacers, which is pretty shiny, and the fork, that's carbon fibre too. On the slightly more expensive and older bikes, you do get a suspension fork, but they reckoned for the 20-inch wheel, you simply couldn't get a suspension fork that was light enough or good enough. So they thought, well, we'll just use a carbon fork, that's pretty much better. It's got a bit of a taper to it to give it a bit of give, and it's also a lot lighter than any child suspension fork you're going to find, because I think it's around 320 grams, which is mighty impressive. Other really cool things, obviously they've got their own line of saddles, got their own lines of handlebar grips, tiny dinky stem as well, and their own custom carbon seat post. That, I believe, is a 27.2mm item, so it should have a little bit of bend in it. In fact, it might even be skinnier than that, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, it's sort of all designed to work with little people who are quite light. And also hopefully in high-earning jobs, seeing as this bike costs £1,000. So yeah, you're going to need to love them a lot, or you're going to need to be producing a future champion, which is generally what this bike is aimed at. It's definitely for the young racers. On that note, it's got lots of shiny stuff that you can't see. So it's got a proper hollow titanium axle in the bottom bracket. That's with a carbon shell in it as well, which I imagine saves quite a bit of weight over your boring steel item. Again, also probably adds quite a lot of money. Other really cool things is the wheel set. So it's got Islabikes' own hubs, but they also use proper Stan's ZTR rims, which means that you can run them tubeless along with the custom Islabikes tyres. I think these are like about 185 TPI, which means that they're super thin and super flexible. So even running them at low pressures for however much a child of 5 weighs, I've no idea. It means they should still have plenty of give and therefore plenty of grip. Yeah, basically, it's all very nice, and my 5-year-old self is massively envious of any other child that gets this. On that note, bye.